Perfect. So thank you very much for the invitation. So my name is Thomas Frizlen. I'm Managing Director of the Swiss startup company Swiss Ocean Tech. And with Swiss Ocean Tech, it's all about safe anchoring. So today in the maritime business, you have a lot of aids when you talk about navigation. So you have GPS, you have depth sounder, you have radar, and so on. But we anchor exactly the same way as we did hundreds of years ago. We take something heavy, we throw it overboard, and then we cross our fingers that it will hold. And we know it's physically impossible that an anchor can always hold. So when I talked to Matthias Bosse, he's the captain of Lady Moira, he said a sentence that is shared by the entire industry. He said anchoring for him is the most dangerous condition for a ship. So what is the problem today? Well, today it is not possible to identify if your anchor is dragging or not. So there is no or too late anchor dragging detection. So you cannot monitor the movement of the anchor itself. There is no prediction if the anchor is about to drag. There is no support to lay your anchor in the best possible way, so to avoid anchor dragging. And today you have very often, also on commercial ships, you have limited number of crew. So they are sometimes overstrained to keep the anchor watch. So the result is that we have collisions, groundings, oil spills, and a big problem nowadays is also subsea cables and pipelines. We just had the example in Huntington Beach a couple of weeks ago, where a dragging anchor ruptured the oil pipeline and we had the oil spill. So we tried to put some numbers to the problem, but this is very hard because those numbers are not actually collected today. So we spoke to one of the largest insurance companies in the maritime world, and they were very kind, and they looked at the data, and they estimated that roughly 5% of their annual claim value is due to dragging anchors. What very much surprised me was when I talked to one of the leading superyacht management companies. They are running about 100 superyachts. They told me that every year, 3 to 4 of their superyachts either collide or ground due to dragging anchor. And I mean, these are yachts where you have well-paid captains and crews. They're extremely taking care. They're sending down divers to check on the anchor and so on. And still this is happening to that extent. So we have some numbers here. They are probably even much higher, 500 million per year on the global claim value and so on. We do not really know where the value is, but probably it's higher than here. But when we talk to the industry, the main pain point is there is no peace of mind when anchoring. I do today not know if at this point of time my anchor is holding or if it's dragging. So what do we offer? Our solution provides safety to anchor, and this we do on one hand by minimizing the risk of anchor dragging. We provide immediate fail-safe alarms with sub-meter accuracy, and we can even predict the anchor hold and tell you if wind and waves would increase, will your anchor still hold or not? So the added value is we keep crew and passengers safe, we prevent damage to vessels, and we minimize the environmental impact due to anchoring. And the last one is also a very important one, is really appreciated by the industry. So the functionality is that we support in the laying of the anchor, when you are at anchor, when you're lifting at the anchor, with a lot of different information. It's really like having nothing and suddenly having an iPhone with all the functionality, but now for anchoring. The configuration is that we have a so-called anchor module, which very easily is fitted between anchor and anchor chain. You open the shackle, put it in there, you close the shackle. It communicates via ultrasound with the boat, with the ship, and then you have the information on the display or on the GPS plotter or on the ECDIS on large ships. So we have already received patents in the various countries. We have a registered trademark, and our core technology is our proprietary algorithm, proprietary sensor, and proprietary underwater communication. What we are offering on the market, the product is called AnchorGuardian, is one-time sales and options. So you can, for instance, have an app on your smartphone. So when you sit in your restaurant and you want to know what's happening with your anchor, you can see it on the app. And then also we offer kind of a SaaS concept, so you can have remote health checks against a yearly fee to see that all the sensors are still working, because this is safety relevant. Is the battery still okay? Did you get any hits, and so on? And also very interesting is we will be able to collect a lot of big data which is not available today. And with that big data, we can do a lot. So for instance, insurance companies have interest, fleet management, we can do machine learning with that. You can do high definition sea charting with the information. Another example is port authorities. Outside of Singapore, every single day, 1,000 ships anchor. We can give the port authority the information. How do those ships anchor? Is any of those ships about to drag their anchor? If it is dragging, which is the ship and which are the other ships that are in danger, and so on. So I mentioned the environmental impact. So we are supporting the UN Sustainability Goal number 14. We help to prevent oil spills and other contamination. We reduce the impact on the seafloor and animal life during anchoring. So when you anchor, you have a big effect on the seafloor. It's like plowing. If your anchor is dragging, you're plowing through the sediment. And you have, for instance, seagrass. Posidonia is growing by less than 1 millimeter per year. So if you have an anchor dragging for several hundred meters, you do huge damage. And seagrass today stores as much CO2 as the complete rainforest, for instance. And also we can provide a lot of important information to the scientific community and to other organizations. So where are we today? Well, we have done the proof of concept with the conceptual models some years ago. Then we have developed the functional models 1 and 2. You see here, for instance, the anchor module between the anchor and the anchor chain. The rest is for monitoring purposes for the tests that we did. And now we have installed the first unit on a pilot customer yacht, a super yacht. And this is how the anchor module looks here. And the next milestones is next year, we're going to industrialize AnchorGuardian, go to market for the super yacht market, and then for merchant ships and leisure boats and fishing vessels. So this is something we learned. We didn't expect that, but actually this is a pain in the complete market. It's not just me with my small boat, but it's for luxury yachts, merchant ships, leisure boats, fishing vessels. All of them have this as an issue. We're talking about 35 million vessels globally. If you look at those who anchor on a regular basis, we talk about roughly 3.6 million vessels, and that would give us an available market of roughly 11.5 billion euros. So we did intensive market studies. We talked to close to 80 individuals like captains, ship owners, shipyards, insurance companies, and so on. And a staggering 92% of them said that AnchorGuardian provides significant value. 8% said, well, we're not quite sure, but nobody said what I have today is good enough. Price was also okay, estimated market share, very interesting. And we already today are working closely with the top players in the superyacht segment, like the top superyacht management companies, the second largest shipyard, insurance companies, and so on. But we're already talking to commercial ship companies. So we're actually about to close our first contract. So with the 6th largest shipping company worldwide, they are investing in Swiss Ocean Tech. They will order a pilot prepaid, and they will give us a letter of intent that if the pilot is working well, they will equip the whole fleet with AnchorGuardian. So the feedback has been fantastic from the industry. It's really something which we feel is an issue, and they are very happy to see what we can bring to them. So we get fantastic feedback from customers, insurance companies, future distributors, and also other opinion makers. We do not have any competitors today. We are actually creating our own market. The competition, the indirect competition, are GPS anchor alarms, which you have on almost any GPS today. But the problem here is you're monitoring your ship and not the anchor. And then you're trying to decide if your anchor is dragging or not. And in addition, all the intelligence that we deliver, they cannot do. We have a fantastic team. We are today 8 people, 6 of them are founders. We have all the core competences we need for AnchorGuardian, both from a technical, but also from a commercial point of view. So this is a rough our financial planning for the next years. Next year we are industrializing AnchorGuardian. then entering the market in 2023. We're going to enter the superyacht market first, and then we're going to go to the merchant ship and also leisure boat and fishing vessel market. As you can see, those numbers are quite conservative. So even in 2026 accumulated, will have covered less than 0.4% of the, or we will have covered 0.4% of the available market. And the profit and loss statement is very interesting, roughly 40 million euros in 2026 with a net profit of 20 million euros by then. So last page, what are we doing now? What have we done? We had our first seed round in early 2020. We raised roughly 1 million euros, and then subsequently have raised another 650,000 in convertible loan. This has been with business angels. We have received funding and awards in the amount of 550,000 euros. And now, after the completed pilot, we are now entering the next financing round, and the use of financing, which is about 2.75 million euros, will be used for industrialization and go-to-market of AnchorGuardian. So our vision is, we truly believe that in 10 years' time, nobody will want to anchor without the help of AnchorGuardian. So AnchorGuardian would be the same for anchoring as the GPS was for navigation 20, 30 years ago. Thank you very much.
So Thomas, how much funding you are looking and how you are going to, use that funding?
The funding we're looking for is, if I talk now in dollars, is a little bit, roughly $3 million. This money will actually take us until we are EBIT positive, and the money will be used to industrialize AnchorGuardian. So we have had the first delivery to a pilot customer, and now it's about industrializing the product and then to finance the go-to-market.
So do you have any expansion plans? Geographical expansions?
Yes, so we're gonna enter the superyacht market first, and there 80% of our customers are in Europe and North America, and this is where we're going to focus first. And the entry point to the market is through superyacht management companies who advise the customers what technology they should or could install on the boats. It's with the shipyards who are building new superyachts, and it's with refit yachts who are on a yearly basis doing maintenance and updating existing yachts. And already that is giving us a substantial amount of yachts. It's roughly 1,500 yachts per year that we're looking at from that perspective. And in addition, we're working closely together with insurance companies. We're also very interested in to promote AnchorGuardian. Actually, one of the biggest one, Pantaenius, they have already written a 4-page article about Swiss Ocean Tech and published it in their newsletters to all the superyacht customers.
Any more questions?
Hi, can I ask, thanks Thomas, that's great. I would like to ask if you're looking to sell this as a retrofit, or you're also working with companies to have it as a technology that is added at manufacturing.
Yes, both. So, the beauty about AnchorGuardian is that on one hand, you anchor exactly the same as you did before. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to push any buttons or prepare anything. But the other beautiful thing is that you can use that for new ships, new yachts, or for existing ones. So as I mentioned, what you need to do is you insert it between the anchor and the anchor chain, and you have the boat module, which, like a depth sounder, is integrated into the ship's hull. So yes, it's for both.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for the presentation. We will get back to you if you have, we have more questions.
Yes, please do.
Thanks.
And thank you very much.